Let's talk beaver. Well, I'm floating around here in my kayaks at the Villa Grande Hole. In the early 1800s, around 1812, the Russians established a colony at the head of this river. And one of the things they trapped the most and were most in demand was the beaver. The beaver pelt was worth $25 a pelt, which was a huge amount of money in those days. So the Russians came in here, trapped beaver. Hudson Bay Company came in here, trapped beaver. The mountain men were trapping beaver, and Captain Cook came through Hawaii, and he was also buying beaver pelts in this area. At the same time, they trapped and killed almost all the fur-bearing animals from here to Alaska, along the coast and inland from the coast. If you killed all or almost all of the fur-bearing animals in that area, you would have created a huge increase in the fish population, because these are the animals and birds that ate fish in this area at that time. So they wiped out almost all of these animals along the Pacific Rim, and that would have increased the fish population tremendously, as there weren't very many people in this area to eat fish. Mostly some natives, and they were sparsely populated. But what they also did is they trapped the beaver out because they were so much in demand. I'm sure they had the Indians working for them to help them do this. Now, I only looked at our area for this to happen, but the truth was, beaver was trapped out throughout the whole Earth. The Europeans, the Russians, and all these other populations had pretty much trapped them out of their areas, and that's why they're in our area, because we had lots of beaver, because there weren't very many white men in this area, mostly just natives, and not so many natives that they would have cleaned anything out. And they had a lot more to eat beside the beaver. So the big catastrophe here is that if you take beaver out of most of the earth in the early 1800s, you would have decreased the amount of water held back from the ocean. You would have dried up swamps, you would have dried up creeks and rivers, because before we did that, the beaver were here for thousands of years doing their thing, holding back water and improving wildlife everywhere they went, and there were thousands of them. Anyway, I plan to do some sequences on this, some more videos of what I see happened to the beaver, and explain maybe a few more things. This will be the start. I hope to do some more videos on this.